It was very interesting when I had a meeting with this psychiatrist, this Kit Acas guy from the local area, and it was to determine my section three or to assess me for putting me on section three and so on. And they usually do this when they put someone on the section three. He asked me. I talked all about the space elevator, my ideas, and so on, the engineering concept I'm working with, and the physics research I've undertaken over the past 10 years, and so on. And he asked me at one point, like, do you think you need protection? And I'm like, well, yes, I do think I need protection, actually. I said in the interview, no, because I wanted to sort of dodge any charge of grandiose delusions or anything like this. And to be honest, yes, I do think I need protection. But I think I should be entitled to the same protection that any ordinary citizen of the United Kingdom is entitled to. For instance, for the police and mental health services to do their jobs, to not be exposed to elements of danger within my environment. But then again, like, people who work on space elevators and things like this, are guaranteed, frankly, higher levels of protection than the average member of the public. And that is it's a bit of a shitty sort of scenario to be in, on one level, saying you're more important to the economy than most other people. No one wants to say that, and no member of the public wants to hear it from anyone, frankly. We all have this impression about ourselves that we are more valuable to, we're equally valuable to the economy. However, and I would have agreed with that, like, up until, I don't know, quite recently, but in terms of the monetary value of such inventions, yes, they are a great deal more valuable than what your average bricklayer is going to ever earn in their lives, I'm sorry to say. And it does put you in the firing line for, maybe things like assassination attempts and things. If there's a hostile foreign power who wants to engineer you out of existence to attack a foreign country in some way, or to destabilize an economy, or to otherwise prevent the growth and prosperity of any given region of the world. And if I can build something like this, extending 160 kilometres above Earth's surface, and we can do it first, then that puts the West as top dog on the international stage again, does it not? And no offence to anyone else, who's, for instance, a plumber or a carpenter or a bricklayer, or anyone who's in a trades profession, or a homeless person for that matter, or someone who doesn't work, or a drug addict, or anyone who might have a lot of potential in one way or another, who isn't fulfilling it. I have put myself on the course of action of fulfilling my potential. That is what I've genuinely tried to do with my life. And it has uncovered things that I never thought I'd be doing, weapons engineering. I think that was like the big thing that the exercise of trying to write my novel Behemoth uncovered like possibilities of technology that hadn't been thought of necessarily before, and was putting them into fiction. Like edged weaponry and aerial combat with huge swarms of drones. Like maybe in 10 years that's the sort of thing we could be building. And it could be dominated by AI, or it could be the sort of thing that AI itself decides to build. And there's that possibility. So in terms of like workers in society who need protection, because let's face it, no one's going to go after a bricklayer, joiner, or a plumber, for whatever socio-political or economic reason it happens to be. But someone might well go after a weapons engineer. Do you see what I mean? And if I can come up with those sorts of things, so yes, I might need protection on a level. Like, I'm fairly well protected here, but it seems like they've got a guy in here at the moment who might want to fucking stab me. And I think there's a good chance of him like just losing it at some point and trying to kill me. I believe I'm in imminent danger. Can I call the police? Like, I'm not sure I trust them. That's the honest truth. Well, that's the truth as well. I don't like the phrase people who say the honest truth or anything like that. It sounds like you're fucking fibbing, but I can't rely on them. They after all put him in here with me. So, like, what good is ringing them up going to do? I'm worried. I'm very worried. I'm worried, like, yeah, for my safety. That's one element of it. One thing I'm worried about the future of my project, the segmented space transport system, the SSTS, the space elevator. I really want that to. I'm worried about the people around me. I don't know. It's just. It sounds so like weird. Like, oh, you want to put yourself on a level of Keir Starmer or someone who gets bodyguards for life and whatnot. And well, on a level like if I developed like the working a design for a space elevator that could work to get us to low Earth orbit, then it is a major breakthrough. That is the only like rational assessment of the situation you can have, really. And you know, like, yeah, it's a major achievement. Really coming up with a design that could work, where we can use conventional materials to build a space elevator. And you can dislike this video all you want, but frankly, it is sort of the truth. Yeah, like, I don't know. I don't want anyone to think that. Well, I don't want myself to become big-headed and to think I'm more important than anyone else. I don't want that. Not really. Like it's not important necessarily, but certain people do need protection. Like people working in intelligence and on secret projects, yeah, obviously they need to be protected by the government. That's the thing, they're not persecuted by the government. And when it comes down to it, that like, what if I get kidnapped like by a foreign state and they try to torture me for information related to like whatever they want to do or build or whatever it is? What if a corrupt faction within the state has placed this maniac in here with me to try and murder me for their own political reasons? And it could still be on a level Nicky fucking Lewis going after the family farm. Pulling strings, get some fucking crazy like cat A or cat double A in his own little imagination. There's no such thing as cat double A, like former prisoner put in here with me and just going mental and it's like looks very much like he's about to murder somebody. Like really. And this has been going on for several days. Either he's the best actor in the world or he fucking means it. I don't know, but sorry to say, but like with the valuable ideas I've come up with, the very valuable ideas, trying to engineer the future of space exploration, which obviously has offshoots with defense technology. Like, yeah, sorry to say, I do need protecting. I'm sorry, Kit Acast, that was a bit of fibbery in that interview. And yeah, like, if I can do this sort of thing, I need support, I need protection, I need people to work with. I've got someone here who's interested in working with me. I think she could be a great asset to Astrodyne rocket jets. It could be corporate competition for all I know, teamed up with like groups of people trying to get me bumped off just out of envy, maybe. I don't know. Elon Musk, who knows? Maybe he could bring it about. Who knows the sort of connections he has in high places and stuff. It could just be that alone. It could be a jealous pride and envious form of retaliation for me saying he's built a shit rocket and for criticising his designs. It could maybe be that simple. This is like, obviously a psychiatrist saying that is a grandiose delusion. I know that it's not a fixed idea, it is just speculative. It's speculation, that's all. For all I know it's Putin, for all I know it's Musk and Putin. No one wants to hear it. No one does. I know equality, 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 all that sort of thing. We're all the same, really. You're the same as everyone else. That's sort of the message that goes around in society. No, you're not the same as everyone else. Everyone's unique. People have different requirements in different situations. Or do I just man up, and go to this guy and put that in his fucking optic nerve and into his brain and just deal with the problem that way? Is that what I do? It's like another threatening, menacing video then, isn't it? But I'm sick of this. I'm so sick of this. I'm sick of having to try and preempt the next moves of these people who just want to either fuck me over or take my stuff or capitalize on my intellect in one way or another, or take property that would otherwise be coming to me, or some combination of all those things. I was handed a drill bit once, randomly, by a man I know, who I worked with for the last year or so, and he's like, "That's a good drill bit. Yeah, maybe you should take this to say you need to get tooled up for the people who are going to come after you." Was that what that was meant to imply? And I'm like, oh fuck yeah, maybe, but I'm not unfit. I know how to fight a little bit. I'm not an SAS guy though. Ideally, I'd have the SAS on my side and be part of the defence intelligence community that is in part protected by the likes of the SAS and SBS and the armed forces. So I can fucking sleep easy at night. Like Keir Starmer with his big salary to pay for private security to look after his children. Make sure we don't get kidnapped, make sure we don't get killed, etc. The headache of this. And to be told it's a delusion. Come on. Just cut me some slack with what I do. I know I operate in the private sector, but I don't want private and public stuff to be so... it's obviously interlinked now, isn't it? Is it not? Under the Tory government, it certainly was. But even the NHS has to succumb to cooperation with the private sector very often. And the private sector has to acquiesce to taxation, ultimately. It's such a shitty thing to think, is it not? It smacks so much, I grant you, of narcissism, of grandiosity. Yeah, indeed it does. It seems, for all intents and purposes, like all those despicable aspects of human behaviour I'd rather distance myself from and not consider. But if there are governments, hostile governments around the world, trying to sort, as I've said, secrets basically that hold great importance for our defence infrastructure and our security strategy, let's say, then it could expose me to some degree of risk, couldn't it? So yeah, I do need protection from the state, and I'll acquiesce to whatever demands. As Jack Aubrey said in that film, I will grind whatever grist the mill requires to see this happen, to make that happen, for the future of fucking humanity. I'll do whatever is necessary to bring that about. What's necessary to bring that about is large-scale cooperation by Western powers at the fucking minimum. And like, yeah. Oh. I drew the ten of fucking swords in the tarot deck earlier for my future. What does that mean? Like getting betrayed, getting stabbed in the back by 10 swords. Like getting stabbed here, maybe it means that literally. It could mean that. Like what is that? What could that be other than like not with an online tarot either, with a real tarot deck, not something anyone could rig in a replay attack, but just me drawing real tarot cards. What is that saying? Like that's the universe telling me something, is it not? I have to fucking prepare myself for my possible end at the hands of a nutter in here. I'm not ending that way. Not if I can help it. This is a sort of cry for help to the police, to the decent elements of the police who I believe exist, and to the government at large. Yes, I do need to be protected. So I can bring about awesome shit for humanity. Like space elevators, possibly even space planes, possibly far larger rockets, etc. And this weapon system that we need to know about, but that I would suggest maybe should build it even for destroying ICBMs and so on, but this better not just be vanity. I've spent at least a couple of years, like 3 years at this point, 2.5 years, since 2023 at least, working on this idea. And I kept most of it stum. I kept mostly stum about it. I've always wanted to work on this, and I haven't kept stum about it. I created the Astrodyne Rocket Jet website, but well, okay. I think I've said what I need to say in this one. I'll leave it up to you as to whether or not you want to assist me. I think that's the best course of action.